Hello, everybody. I'm Marcus, and you're watching Tesla Simplified. Thank you to all new subscribers and welcome, everyone. If you're into Tesla, EVs, or electrification in general, why not subscribe? I put out content almost every day. This is all speculation. I'm just trying to start a fun conversation about the Model 2 or A. So leave a comment below with your thoughts and let me know if you think I'm right or wrong. I would appreciate it. Let's start with the name, the Model A or Model 2 or Highland. Highland is likely the name given to a project for improvements in manufacturing at Tesla. You should definitely check out the Connecting the Dots YouTube channel. They did a really good video on this. Model 2 was in the Tesla ether for a while, but doesn't really make sense. Elon didn't want to use the name Model 3. He wanted to name it Model E. But Ford claimed the Model E name, so Tesla wasn't allowed to use it. So why would he name it Model 2? He wouldn't. Model A would work better in order to fit the sexy cars theme, the S3 XY Cybertruck Model A, and then the new Roadster and Semi. So that's what I'm going with. That's what I think it should be called, at least for this video. Model A it is. Elon said that he wanted to half the manufacturing cost of the next platform, hence the $25,000 to $30,000 car we're talking about today. If the incentives last that long, a $25,000 to $30,000 car could cost as little as $16,500 to about $21,500. But in some states, the incentives can be as high as another $7,500 on top of the $7,500 incentive, federal incentive, in places like Oregon. There, it could cost around $10,000 to $15,000. Don't forget, you would save another $6,000 to $10,000 in gas and maintenance. The number gets pretty crazy after that. Also, don't forget that EVs last 2 to 3 times longer than gas cars. These savings can really start to change people's lives who live paycheck to paycheck. Gas and maintenance of an old car really puts a toll on people of lesser means. Also, remember that in some places in the US and other places in the world, not having a car and using public transportation isn't really an option. In some places, public transportation just isn't available. Tesla's Project Highland is likely named after Highland Park, New Jersey, where Henry Ford's moving assembly line was born. There, Ford lowered the cost of the cars and made it cheap enough for the masses. So in Tesla's case, Project Highland is probably an umbrella term for improvements in manufacturing methods, in my view. As Elon put it, alien dreadnought. Let's not forget improvements to Tesla managerial level. Also, as a lean company, meaning without bloated staff, no advertising, no dealerships, etc., Elon's way of operating is to improve all aspects of the entire company. This takes a lot of work, but is a nightmare to anyone trying to compete with him. So, what can Tesla do to lower the cost of a new car from $44,000 for the rear-wheel drive Model 3 to $25,000 to $30,000? You would start with a smaller form factor, perhaps a four-seater subcompact car. Smaller form factor, smaller car, less weight, and less atmospheric drag. The Model 3 is 185 inches by 73 by 57. The Renault KWID is 146.8 by 62 by 58. I think Europe and a lot of places in the world would snatch this up. The Renault here is just an example. It's a subcompact sold in South America. So the Model 3 is 38 inches longer, 11 inches wider, and 1 inch shorter than the Renault. If that's too small for an American consumer, Tesla could make it a bit bigger, maybe the size of an ID3 maybe. But I think that the size of the Renault KWID is a much better fit for the world, and therefore more in line with Tesla's mission statement. There is also the cost savings of a 4680 structural battery pack in front and rear castings. Maybe Tesla could also simplify things and not offer all-wheel drive, not offer long-range versions and performance versions. That would simplify the manufacturing process and lower the costs. Maybe offer just a small number of colors. One thing that Tesla will not do is compromise in safety. So those will just stay. Tesla could take away quite a few items from the Model 3 to bring down the costs, such as power seats, power steering wheel, uh, dimming mirrors, wireless chargers, leather seats, illuminated vanity mirrors, leather wrapped steering, heated seats, heated steering wheel, smaller display, less and cheaper sound system, slightly shorter warranty, power mirrors, power trunk, tilted windows, less expensive materials around the cabin, so more plastic really. Maybe the HEPA filter, uh, a single pane glass instead of double pane, and smaller wheels and tires. It would make the single pane glass would make it more noisy, but this is a much cheaper car. They usually are more noisy. What about a tow hitch? Well, some countries use it a lot. So maybe a 2,200 pound, 1,000 kilos limit would be enough. Uh, the glass roof will likely stay because it helps passengers' headroom. Tesla can then make the car a bit shorter, and that improves efficiency by reducing the wind resistance. With better efficiency, of course, the car can have less batteries and therefore cost less. Let's talk about the batteries. A 12% smaller battery from the 272 miles EPA range that the Model 3 has right now, the Model 3 rear-wheel drive, and that's 437 kilometers, to perhaps a 240 mile, 387 kilometers of range would be enough for most people. Maybe 4680 LFP batteries, even though at Tesla Day, Tesla said that they will not make LFP 4680 cells. I assume they didn't mean that they will never, ever make it. With a 3 to 4 year tech improvement, the battery pack can probably be 45 kilowatt hours, or maybe 50 kilowatt hours, instead of the 55 kilowatt hours in the China-made Model 3 rear-wheel drive LFP today. To keep the price even lower, the onboard charger can probably peak at 150 kilowatts, and that would still be a great car for most trips because of the supercharger network. I really hope Elon opens it up for everyone really soon. All the software and cameras can and will stay in place because the tech is Tesla's bread and butter. How about the frunk? Tesla may be able to still have a small frunk, even in a small form factor, and therefore having more cargo capacity compared to gas cars of the same size. How about cabin space compared to gas cars? It will also have better interior space for the driver and passengers and more legroom for everyone, especially since it doesn't need a transmission tunnel, but it will have less shoulder room for the back passengers. This is due to the width tempering near the back. This is done to reduce wind drag. You can see this in all of Tesla's cars. There is a lot to take away from a rear-wheel drive Model 3 and still make a great, safe, and affordable car once all the pieces are in place. Pieces like the 4680 structural battery in front and rear castings, and again, Tesla is a lean company. No advertising, dealerships, etc. This will happen faster than the OEMs think, and they will be caught off guard again. When is this going to happen? Let's see. If Elon shows it on Investor Day on March 1st, then probably about 3 more years. If not, maybe another year after that. So maybe 2026, 2027. At the time of unveiling, everyone will say that Tesla can't do it. It's impossible. It's too cheap. Just like they said about all other models, original Roadster, S, X, 3, Y, and the Semi. They always say it. I just can't wait to ride in one. Competition is coming. If you're talking about OEMs, they just started rolling out preheating the batteries on the way to a charger in their cars. Tesla has had preconditioning since 2019. If you're talking about Chinese makers, the BYD Seagull is coming out soon, but cheap Chinese cars still have safety problems. If they can solve that problem, then they will be in the game with Tesla and in the process helping Tesla transition the world to electric. Tesla's competition is gas car makers, not other electric car makers. When companies like Ford and GM make electric vehicles, it isn't competing or taking market share from Tesla. Whether they know it or not, they're in competition with themselves and in the process, helping Tesla's mission. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.